Joining us now is OjyOkpe, original Arise News anchor with stories trending across the world. Arise original OjyOkpe.
Dr. Bati, the Arise original. Wow, what we hear in this media house is amazing. Astonishing, isn't it?
Yes.
Aren't we all Arise originals?
We absolutely.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Ayo, how are you this
Very
morning?
well,
Rufai, Showakba.
OjyOkpe.
Fantastic. Well, you know, there's so much talk about fuel hike, Tinubu not increasing the fuel, whether or not subsidy is gone. Like this day reported this morning, it was epic. Subsidy is gone. I loved it.
Long live
fuel subsidy. Let me just take one reaction from that's been trending on WhatsApp. This person says, full tank in May 2023, 15K. Full tank in June 2023, 35K. Full tank in July 2023, 55K. Same year, same car, same tank, same filling station, same country, same people, and the last but not the least, same salary. I mean,
a lot of people are still protesting that by August it ought to be 60-something thousand. It's not high enough. The fuel price is not high enough, Dr. Abati. Market fundamental, market forces must take over. This 55K, Oji, is not high enough. Fuel should be sold at 720. Market forces should take over. Don't kill Nigerians,
yeah.
Don't kill Nigerians, please.
Don't
kill Nigerians. Economics means sense.
Yeah.
If economics is not benefiting the grassroots people, any economics is senseless.
Driving to work this morning just occurred to me that most Nigerians are poorer.
Yeah.
Because even if you're on the same salary, if you got an increment in your salary, please don't rejoice too much, because perhaps they just made you match up to what you were earning before, or perhaps even lower than what you were earning before, because the prices don't add up. Yeah. And the pressure is on employers. They also cannot afford to increase salary. So we are all managing, trying to cut things, and our resilience sometimes do not even make us understand just how much we have reduced our quality of life in terms of our spending. Yeah. This is why we keep managing, we keep cutting down, we keep cutting costs, but Nigerians are poorer.
Something's got to give, and I know, like you said, subsidy is back. But there's another topic, all eyes on the judiciary, which is really what's trending. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending with reactions trailing the removal of billboards promoting the words, all eyes on the judiciary across the country. Over the weekend, the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria ordered the removal of the billboards and dissolved its advertising standards panel for approving the ads sponsored by a group known as the Diaspora for Good Governance. The ads were put up as the Presidential Election Tribunal prepares to deliver its verdict on the petitions challenging the victory of President Bola Tinubu, Phrank Shaibu, and aide on communication to former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, said the removal of the billboards across the country is an assault on freedom of speech. I mean, he's not the only one, Dr. Abati, saying that this is an assault, but let me just take some parts of that statement from Archon. They wrote, the advertisement is controversial and capable of instigating public unrest and breach of public peace. Further stating that the advertisement is considered a blackmail against the Nigerian Judiciary, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, and particularly the honorable justices of the tribunal, who are expected to discharge their judicial functions without fear or favor over a matter that is currently jus pendens. I mean, Dr. Abati, you are the law student here.
Okay, two sides to this story. Yesterday, when that story broke, it was said that Tinubu had dissolved the board of Archon, or is it the advertising standards panel. I thought that, appeared very strange, because that would be a draconian way to intervene in the operations of a body established by statutes. But by the end of the day, the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria itself came forward and took ownership of it and said in a statement signed by the Director General that it was Archon that suspended the directors, the persons in charge of the advertising standards panel, and that's the statement we have on the board there. And they said, you know, there was no vetting, and that there was no approval by the council, and that the council it was that directed that the materials should be pulled down immediately, and that the directors in charge should go on suspension. What are the arguments that the ACON was putting forward? That the advertisement said to have been put together by a group of persons in diaspora was addressing a matter that is pending, jus pendis, it is called, before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, and that it will be prejudicial, and that it is capable of causing disaffection, resulting, you know, in bringing the Judex into disrepute, into defamation in the eyes of the right-thinking members of society. That's the technical expression. And then so the ACON took ownership of it. The other side of the argument, which I said I was worried about when it was said it was the presidency that took a decision, is about the right to free speech. Okay? People can say all eyes are on the judiciary, they can go and put it there. So I thought, how would the Tinubu administration politicize this? But they have been pushed out of it. ACON has taken responsibility as a body established by law. However, the other side of it is that, look, the judiciary has been under fire. Everybody has been saying the judiciary, all eyes are on the judiciary. But within the context of where the presidential election petitions are now, where final written addresses have been adopted, the concern, you know, is that attempts have been made from different directions to put pressure on their lordships. And that would be contemptuous to do so. Yeah. Contempt in face of court, or contempt away from the face of the court, which is called contempt ex facie curia. In which category will fall the allegation by Babatunde Fashola SAN that some people were saying, oh, he was writing a judgment for the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. But the truth that we all know is that Nigerians are all anxious about the outcome of that Presidential Election Petition Tribunal.
That is the point.
And what will come out of the 180 days process prescribed in the Constitution for the determination of petitions arising from the presidential election process. So that is why this takes on a fresh significance. And people are saying, oh, if you are pulling down the billboard, okay, all of us have been saying it now, that the judges must do their job without fear or favor, without, no matter whose ox is God.
100%.
That's the received wisdom 100%. There. You know, so it's a two-way thing. ACON can hide under the fact that, well, it's the regulatory authority, but it's ACON acting under pressure. Did anybody push ACON to come out with this statement? Is ACON's statement a cover-up as a result of pressure from certain interested parties?
Those are very valid.
But as for the statement, yes, the judiciary is under pressure. After all, the recent NBA Speedel conference, the whole issue was about the role of the judiciary and the role of lawyers who are forum shopping and misbehaving contrary to the rules of conduct, in this entire process. So as a statement, not many people will quarrel with it. So the relevant questions to raise is ACON acting truthfully? Was ACON pushed? And why? Right. Because this will not even stop people from saying all eyes are on the judiciary.
Oh, it's been trending
Certainly,
for
all
months.
eyes are on the judiciary.
That's the hashtag trending.
But the Judex should also not be intimidated.
All right.
Because that would be contemptuous. That's Fashikuria.
Awesome. Good questions raised. We'll take another story. President Bola Tinubu has mourned the death of the Nigerian Air Force officers who died in the helicopter crash in Niger State on Monday. The NAF helicopter crashed while on a casualty evacuation mission near Chukuba village in Shiroro local government area of the state. Tinubu, in a statement posted on X, said the news of the helicopter crash and the loss of the officers brought him immense sadness, adding that Nigerians will forever remember the officers as national heroes. Let me take a part of his tweet. Tinubu wrote, "These officers and men were answering the call of duty while on evacuation mission in their dedicated service to our beloved country. They paid the ultimate price." In the meantime, the governor of Niger State, Mohammed Umaru Bago, has blamed illegal miners and Fulani herdsmen for the increasing spate of banditry in the state. The governor made the comment when he paid a condolence visit to the Chief of Air Staff following the death of Nigerian Air Force personnel who were on a mission in Niger State.
Yeah, a lot of activities of illegal mining. You know, we have a lot of lithium and gold, and this is not far away from that because these miscreants are into this illegal activity, so they've taken siege of that place. Over the years, we've been trying to talk to them, and that there's a symbiotic relationship between the Fulani herdsmen and the miners, you know, because they use these cattle to transship whatever they have mined. You know, that is why you see the symbiotic relationship.
Well, all right. The governor is blaming illegal miners as well as herders for these attacks. I mean, there were attacks that occurred over the weekend as well. I don't know if I sent you that video also of one boy that was cut with the cutlass. It was horrific to see. But I mean, this is what they are saying that is happening. But I mean, there's also a video trending online right now. I don't know if you have seen it. Terrorists claiming that they were responsible for shooting down the NAF plane. We've heard these stories.
I mean, so the guy that's threatening, that's claiming he was responsible, is a known terrorist, a bandit or terrorist. Yeah, anybody that terrorizes people.
They're all terrorists.
They're all terrorists. You
all
know,
of them.
Dogo
I don't
Kide.
use bandits
and
anymore.
He has said he did it. Anyway, there's been a lot of other rebuttals by saying, no, the plane just, you know, crashed and all of that. He didn't do it. Now the governor is blaming illegal miners. The question is, who are we to believe in all of this? But whatever is going on with this story, we have problems in our country, Oji. We have a war going on, that our planes are being affected and they're coming down. And the leadership newspaper did a story this morning, I think the first 2-3 pages, and he talked about the fact that I think in the past 8 years, we've had about 18 of our planes come down one way or the other. Our birds are coming down, our military planes.
Right.
And this is very sad, and we must also look deeply into this as we give commiserations, you know, to those that have lost their life, and it's quite a very sad day.
It is.
22 soldiers was first attacked and killed. This reese of some sorts to go evacuate them got in there, was also attacked. Bandits claiming they did it. If you remember, another case in point was that case where we're lucky in that case because the pilot ejected and he ran to safety. You remember the case of that pilot, where some bandits claimed that they shot that down. So increasingly, we are having people with capability to be able to shoot down or attack helicopters down and things like that. And these were not just ordinary helicopters. They were attack helicopters. You know, if they could shoot that down with that capacity, we have a lot of problem in our backyard. And we are so concerned about Niger, where we have problems in Niger. Mm-hmm. And it's not only in Niger. Coupled with this, see what is happening in Plateau, Oji.
Yes,
killings have resumed in Plateau.
Yes.
That is also happening.
You know that they did launch that operation, Tiger Teeth. I mean, to go into Plateau State in particular, because like I told you guys before, I did some research and I found over 350 Nigerians have died in Plateau State for what?
Let me even shock you. The effect on inflation
in 3
is
months.
the fact
this
that
just in 3 months.
You are seeing areas like Berkeladi affected in Bangu local government area. Bangu has the second largest production capacity for Irish potatoes. The farmers can't go to farms any longer. So most of the northern part of the country is sort of like an axis of evil now. Bandits, insurgents, Boko Haram, name it. All sorts of groups marauding through our bushes, attacking people, massive insecurity. Amidst all of this, we think that foreign investors are going to bring their money. So these are the problems, and that's what we should solve. But my heart goes out to the military out there. Commiserations, they've suffered a lot of battering. We are with you, the Nigerian military, as you go through this very sad point, because those 22 people that died, they also have families, they had dreams. They love Nigeria just like all of us.
Absolutely.
And they pay the supreme price serving our country. But we must look inward and fix our problems.
Yes.
These problems are about it.
Our heart goes out to the military and to the victims, the family of the victims who died. We'll take another story. The immediate former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, on Tuesday, stirred up some controversy after photos of his visit to the new national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, began circulating online. Wike was received by Ganduje at his residence in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The All Progressives Congress, in a post on X, stated that the former governor's visit to the APC national chairman was to congratulate him on his election to the position. Wike was confirmed as a minister of the Federal Republic on July 31st, a move many have described as an anti-party action by the former governor. Well, let's take some tweets on X. Nyesom Wike's recent meeting with APC National Chairman Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje is raising concerns about party discipline. It is advisable for the PDP to go ahead to suspend Wike and his associates, given the apparent disregard he has displayed for the PDP and its leadership. He has spat on the PDP's grave, and INEC should consider deregistering the party. Well, Shaibu wrote, politics can be astonishing at times, especially when you remember the things that Wike has said about Ganduje. Let us not engage in internal conflicts over politicians. Instead, let us direct our energy towards holding politicians accountable. Unity among ourselves is crucial. We must stand together against the politicians, not against each other. Ayo, you saw these photos trending.
Well said, Sally. Well said.
Sally did well.
This Governor Nyesom, former Governor Nyesom Wike's story has to be written into a book. He must go into the annals of history of Nigerian political space.
Yes.
How a frontliner in terms of a big political party like the PDP is obviously not just flirting with the opposition, but actually in bed, not even being caught, but promoting it, sponsoring it himself in terms of just showing. And as was said, right from the time of the G5, when he was the arrowhead of that particular group, and they actually took on responsibility, and they were proud enough to say that they were able to let the opposition win in certain states. And yet people have continuously wondered as to PDP's silence. What does former Governor Nyesom Wike have against the PDP? What hold, what power that the obvious anti-party, we're even the ones advising the PDP to say that this is anti-party activity.
Absolutely.
Discipline him. At what point? I'm not surprised that he's already, in effect, taken on a ministerial position, accepted, and gone before the House, parlied with. So this is not a surprise to me. He has just gone to congratulate his party chairman.
Yes.
So this, he goes on in history
his party
as
chairman.
being a member of two parties simultaneously, PDP, and even though he hasn't declared that he's leaving the PDP to join the APC, but his body language, I don't know how that works in terms of their constitution, the PDP constitution, if this is allowed, but it is a very curious case. In fact, I have a suggestion for the curious case of Nyesom Wike and the PDP. I hope that I hope that the PDP would speak, because if this isn't handled properly, it will not serve as a deterrent to other politicians within the PDP, and it just positions them as quite weak in terms of handling their internal affairs. And finally, just to emphasize the point that at the end of the day, do not kill yourself in the wars of politics and politicians. APC and PDP, we see how they are cross-partying here and there, and sometimes, as we see, in the same party at the same time, or representing same interests at the same time.
Yes.
We must focus on the people, we must focus on interests, and not get involved in other people's war, especially politicians and political figures.
Well said, Ayo. You know, Sally's tweet was quite apt. I mean, considering the things that Wike has said about Ganduje, leads me to my next story about character and behavior. Senate President Chukuba on Tuesday at the National Policy Dialogue on Corruption, Social Norms and Behavior Change in Nigeria said behavioral change could be Nigeria's single biggest instrument in addressing corruption and the destruction of social norms in the country. Akpabio was represented at the event by his Deputy Chief of Staff. The dialogue was organized by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. I mean, this story was quite funny because everyone was talking about, how can Akpabio say this at this time? But, talking about behavioral change, let's take a look at this video of a car spotted driving with only 3 tires along the Shagamu Expressway in Ogun State.
Christ. We have a lot of criminals. This is a car in my front now. Tire you can't find it. We love to risk our life in this part of the world. Can you see? Road safety, Ogun State or Lagos State. Lagos State, plate number. Lagos State, the plate number. AA07AG. AA07 AG. Lagos, that's the number. To overtake. Wait to overtake. Kilo wa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa Nigeria tá la ṣe báyìí. Can we call this madness or what?
Dr. Bati, over to you. Well, that guy called him a criminal. Complete criminal. I mean, it's not funny at all, actually.
I thought it was Pliny the Elder who said something new always comes out of Africa. I'm sure, members of the international community, if they were to see this, they will be wondering, how can a 3-legged vehicle move, contrary to unknown concepts of engineering about balance and velocity? But in Nigeria, something new always comes out, particularly. Haven't you seen people, ferrying a whole cow on the back of an Okada? And there will also be a human being, on top of that motorcycle. Just a clear sign of underdevelopment as we have seen it. Now, earlier on, you were talking about Wike visiting Ganduje. Well, Wike nominated to be a minister in an APC government. Well, he will have to work with the party. He has not publicly declared that he is leaving the PDP. And the PDP has said they are just waiting for him to take the appointment before they then take a decision. So there's nothing strange in Wike visiting Ganduje, the chairman of the party, the ruling party that he's going to work with. Okay? The only question that you can underline for the benefit of our audience is Dele Farotimi's standard argument. Do not die in their war.
Absolutely not. That's what I said.
That's the title of a book.
Absolutely, no.
Dele Farotimi, do not die in their war. Yeah. When you see politicians agreeing, the same politicians will come back to you and say, in politics, you agree to disagree, you disagree to agree. Yeah. This is a classic illustration of it. Finally. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, was said to have been represented at a national policy dialogue on social norms and behavioral change. And his representative made a number of points. That we can tackle corruption through behavioral change.
Yes.
2, that we need to develop a culture of teaching ethics, right, and integrity at all levels through awareness campaigns and educational institutions. Unfortunately, the National Orientation Agency is practically dead. It's ineffectual. Number 3, he says under his watch, the 10th National Assembly will put measures in place to fight corruption.
Yeah.
Now, all those 3 points he has made, they are valid points. Yeah. They are reasonable points. They are, at the level of theory, reasonable. After all, we were in this country when somebody said, change begins with you.
That is it.
I mean, is it not in the same country? Under Buhari government, the Buhari people, the change did not start with them. We did not see any change. So the question Nigerians will ask is that if you want change at the level of corruption and all that, let our leaders lead the way.
Well said.
Show the people the light, and the people will follow. To quote Nnamdi Azikwe's motto in his newspaper, West African Pilot, 1947.
Well said, Dr. Abati. Well, I think we have to just quickly go.
In all honesty, there's actually a car that drives on 3 wheels around the world. It's called the Citroen DS.
But that's not what we are talking about. Thank you very much, Rufai.
I just wanted to sound cheeky.
Well, all right.
I want to sound cheeky.
It's not a tricycle. Well, all right, let's end the show. You know, we love celebrating birthdays on What's Trending. On Tuesday, members of staff of Access Bank honored their Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Herbert Wigwe, as he turned 57 with this amazing tribute. Let's take a look.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Herbert. Happy birthday to you. Are you ready? Yes. Hey, happy birthday. Come on. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hey, happy birthday. Hip, hip, hip.
Well, all right, what can we say? We at Arise News are wishing him a happy birthday too. Happy birthday, Herbert Wigwe. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.